Well, the markets gave up some early gains pretty quickly as the rally attempts continue to fade and would-be buyers continue to hold back. Now, the pendulum has swung from investors asking more questions and waiting for more answers before they buy, and that means the bias remains to the downside. Now, these questions include, again, stimulus from the Federal Reserve or Congress, the future of lockdowns, those political shenanigans in our nation's capital, and market valuations. This, as the Atlanta Fed is now handicapping the third quarter, they're saying GDP at 32%. So let's ask our panel how this all will shake out. Joining me now, Kaltbaum Capital Management President, Fox Business contributor Gary Kaltbaum, Bulltick Capital Markets Chief Strategist Kathryn Rooney Vera, and Ladbrokes Thalman Asset Management CEO Phil Blancato. So last Monday and Tuesday, the market came out the gate with gusto. Then it came out the gate with even more gusto last Wednesday. And Kathryn, it all fell apart. And I think a lot of it has to do with Jay Powell. He was not really clear on the course of action, right? I mean, he's leaving investors to kind of worry about future accommodation. I know the Fed says they'll be there, but this has been a few now FOMC meetings where the inability of Jay Powell to truly articulate what they're going to do next, in my mind, sparked some selling.
Well, Charles, Gary and Phil are such tremendous contributors, and I'm so happy they didn't steal my answer, because my answer to why the markets are lower is because we don't have that stimuli. Stimuli, both fiscal and monetary, is what has taken us to record highs. So if there's any doubt, which there currently is in the markets right now, that a third fiscal stimulus package doesn't come to fruition in the very short term, people get upset about that, and the markets have their taper tantrum. We saw with the Federal Reserve tapering its asset purchases, the market reacting negatively. The market is used to government management of the economy, Charles. So I think once we get more clarity with regard to fiscal stimulus, and I think it's going to come after the election. It doesn't matter who wins. Somebody's going to want to keep the party going. So yes, we're going to get more fiscal stimulus. It's going to be in the trillions. We already have 10 trillion in the system, but hey, let's do more. And yes, the Fed is going to back up the markets. On your show, I've been saying this ad nauseum, and it's just the way it's worked for the past 10 years. And in the absence of inflation, Charles, and in the absence of any replacement to the U.S. dollar's dominance on a global level, there's no reason to change course. So bank on it.
Kathryn, I want to give you the last word because I heard you trying to get in there a little bit.
No, I think Gary is right, but let's face facts. The past decade, the S&P has moved one-to-one in line in a direct relationship with the Federal Reserve's balance sheet. So, look, I think that elections will bring volatility. I think we can even make money off of that, right? So say we do get a blue sweep. The market could sell off 5%. I doubt it does more. But we want to be positioned. I've heard Phil say this before, and I completely agree with it. The barbell strategy. Today, you want to be buying the S&P. You want to be buying gold as well. You want to be buying tips. You want to be buying treasuries. You want to have that protected position where you're long the markets on drawdowns, and you're protected with assets that benefit when times get tough. And I agree with Gary on this point. I think that, the things come to the fore when the market internalizes the fact that the Federal Reserve does not create economic growth. So once we get this exponential growth in liquidity and we don't get economic growth, and the market says, oh, shoot, we have so much liquidity here, but we're still not seeing the benefits of it, the markets fall. And I think that's when we come to a realization that what has led us to this point has to be sustained by fundamentals.
And with all due respect, I don't know that the market's going to have that kind of epiphany. I think the markets are saying we want the Federal Reserve to act today, and the Federal Reserve is saying we want the Congress to act today, and the markets keep drifting. Not panicking, but they are drifting. Amazing points from all of you. Really appreciate it. Kathryn, Gary, and Phil, thank you very much.